Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! Resolve. Well, in the last episode, we proved that this photographic print here, this one, the incriminating photograph, was taken by the person, you can see right here, Mr. Menimemoism or something. I have to learn the names. What's his name? Writing Menimemo. So many memos because he's a journalist. And yeah, we proved that he did take it. And now we're about to hear his testimony. The camera never lies. So let's go for it.
The beach hut was made of shoddy and old reed screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back. My smoldering journal spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera ready to click. I pulled apart through the weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot.
Oh yeah, he's very energetic indeed. Reed screens, you say?
Right, you can see them clearly enough on that great shot I snapped.
Yeah, these are these reed screens.
The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds.
Yes, it allows the breeze to pass through and bring some relief from the summer heat.
And it was a breeze from me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up.
Ignoring for the time being the appalling invasion of privacy involved, did you witness everything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut?
Oh yes, I saw it. I saw the whole thing from start to finish.
And you say that you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens?
Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reins apart and thrust the lens of my camera through the gap. Would I get away with it, or would I be seen? It was the gamble of a lifetime. A tenacity of purpose that's considered admirable in a journalist, I suppose. Run or escode, run a scoop the next. That's Menimemoism in a nutshell.
At last, it would appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I believe we may be close to a verdict.
No! Wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful.
Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that this testimony begs on very large question.
What question?
Exclusive news, a startling photograph, or the making of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why then was the story never published?
Oh, that's right.
It seems clear to me that there are circumstances at play here that are yet to be understood.
Ha! More pathetic excuses.
Very well then, counsel. Proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Excellency. There's more to this reporter than meets the eye. He's keeping something about this case very close to his chest.
Well, then it's our duty to find out in the cross-examination. The camera never lies. So let's go, guys. The beach hut was made of shoddy reed screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. So let's press.
What made you want to see what was happening inside the beach hut in the first place?
Call it journal instinct. Can't think of a better reason.
Oh, I don't know, perhaps because as well as being a proven criminal, the person inside was a young woman?
Ah, I see where you're going with this. Brace yourselves, people. He's painting the journal as a voyeur.
It's hardly slander, sir. You had a camera and you were taking pictures without the woman's knowledge.
Nope, you've got it all wrong, little student boy.
Sorry?
To my mind, all that was inside that hut was a scoop. Nothing more, nothing less. Scoops now, no gender. Man or woman, it's all news. That's not even Menimemoism. It's basic journalism.
If only the courtroom was indiscriminate.
Right, so if that's all buttoned up, can we move on?
Tell the court then, witness, what sight befell your eyes when you looked inside the hut?
A sight that vindicated my general instinct, that's what. When I pulled back the reeds, I could see it all as clear as day. The Englishwoman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her.
Hold it!
So you actually saw Menimemoism entering the hut?
Yup, and she was raging like my Jono spirit.
And the argument you mentioned, what was that about exactly?
You stole it! I didn't steal it! That kind of thing.
Talking about the poison, I suppose.
The student girl walked right up the Englishwoman and really started laying into her. I mean, if she'd laid into her anymore, there would have been eggs!
The man should have been an author. His descriptive tells are wasted on journalism.
But the student's rantings fell on deaf ears, like a Japanese person listening to English for the first time.
He really ought to work in his similes first though, to be honest.
Anyway, the point is, that woman in the dock was mightily angry.
And her temper finally got the better of her, it seems. Dear me.
Which was the climactic moment that I caught on film. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the Englishwoman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back.
That can't be true. That can't be true. Let's press.
Do you swear by this court that you actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place?
Ha! The precise moment? I didn't just see that. I saw the whole hellish scene play out, from start to finish.
I have here a simple plan of the beach hut. Perhaps you could use it to explain to the court exactly what you witnessed.
Right you are. It's all here in my memo pad. When I first peered into the hut, I'm sure that the Englishwoman was on this stool at the back of the hut here.
Yes, the accused's own testimony confirmed that.
She just sat at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly, is what I have noted down.
It's my turn to testify now. Try not to interrupt. Oh. Then, the next moment, as I was watching, the evil student girl entered the hut. After a while, the pair of them ended up in the middle of the hut, arguing furiously. The Englishwoman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way. And in a flash, plunged the knife into her adversary's back as the two passed each other.
What do you describe as a grim crime indeed?
Never sugarcoat the truth. That's what Menimemoism says.
The beach hut plan has been entered in the court record. A beach hut plan, a plan of the layout of the small beach hut where the victim was found.
By the way, Menimemoism, whilst you were watching the terrible scene unfold before your eyes through the gap in the screen, did it not occur to you to try to prevent that tragedy, rather than capture it on film?
Journals have to be observers. We can't get involved. That's a raison d'être.
So you didn't converse with Miss Brett at all?
Obviously not. An observer always remains on the outside looking in.
And that's something to be proud of, is it?
Your Excellency, if I may. Yes, Professor. I think the witness's last expertly phrased statement should perhaps be added to his formal testimony.
Father, what are you?
I will grant the defense's request. Menimemoism, you will supplement your formal testimony with the aforementioned statement.
Well, nihilism is the foundation of Menimemoism, but I'll gladly prove that my words are meaningless.
Okay, so before we go there, let's just... So we haven't had this one yet? Okay, so this is where we supplemented the testament with this very last statement. So the testimony was supplemented here. That means that we haven't pressed this one.
My smoldering journal spread burst into flames quick as a flash. I whipped out my camera ready to collect.
But before we go there, I just want to have a look at the beach hut plan. Okay. So, there's the table. This is where she sat. Let me just have a look at this print. So this is where she sat. This is her dress. And this is a suitcase. And according to the plan, she was here. There's a suitcase. Yeah, exactly. So this is where... That's really strange that they danced around each other. That's very strange. Okay, we'll get into that. So let's just press the reporter first.
Hold it!
The court is fully aware of your desire to capture the incident on film, I'm sure. But why then did you choose to post the photograph anonymously to the police?
I'm afraid I don't understand a word that's coming out of your mouth.
I'm asking why, as a journalist, you decided not to make a story out of the incident.
Think of me as a sculptor who makes art of the sordid, private details of other people's lives. But I never discuss my own personal life on principle. I mean, that's basic Menimemoism.
It's not something to boast about.
No doubt your burning desire to see the truth exposed and justice done was what motivated you.
That's it! That's brilliant! My burning desire to see something or other exposed.
There has to be a good reason why he didn't think to write an article about what he saw, though.
By your own admission, you were outside the hut. How then did you manage to take the photograph?
Ah, yes, that. I'm glad you asked. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot.
Hold it!
But the two women inside didn't notice?
Ha! Obviously not. If they had, where would I be right now? In jail, that's where.
Which you think would make you reflect on what you were doing?
No, a journal's job is to collect little snippets of life.
Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. Oh, sorry.
To collect little snippets of life as unobtrusively as possible. Leave nothing but footprints. Take nothing but photos. Yes, that's spot on.
Did he just make that up?
The point is, the witness risked life and limb to obtain this photograph, and this photograph reveals the whole truth. There's nothing more to be said.
He's hiding something. He is indeed hiding something.
I never once set foot in the hut nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was there only as an observer.
Hold it!
Really, you didn't set foot in the hut at all? Are you quite sure about that?
I think you may have the wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene here. My nerves were stretched to breaking point already.
Oh, I see, you were scared. Maybe I did have the wrong impression of you, yes.
It was all I could do to stifle a scream and hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot.
You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera.
Menimemoism and humanism don't always agree. And most of the time in those instances, Menimemoism comes out on top. As a sculptor stories, sometimes I have to be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on.
Surely he's making all this up.
He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating.
But it does seem as though he's holding something back, doesn't it?
If that's how you feel, I suggest that you trust your instincts and press him on everything he said, as you've no doubt seen it done many times before in your role as judicial assistant.
Yes, I have. I've seen witnesses like this pressed often. I know exactly what to do.
The beach hut was made of shoddy old reeds, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. The Englishwoman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled a knife, throwing the Englishman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back. My smoldering journal square burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot. I never once set foot in the hut nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was there only as an observer. So I guess we're supposed to present something here. But what? Yeah, we had that already, so we're gonna skip. Could see inside through. Was sitting on a stool.
Hold it!
Can we skip? Can we skip here? Yes, we can. So we pressed everything. Yeah. She was on a stool sitting there.
Hold it!
So, I'm not really sure what to do here, to be honest. He never set foot in there, but he could see through the reel.
Hold it!
Court is this? I'm afraid blah blah blah. Perfect shot.
Hold it!
Photos. Photos shows the whole truth. I never once set foot in the hut nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was there only as an observer. If you press this, what does he say?
Really, you didn't set foot in this inside the hut at all? Are you quite sure about that?
I think you may have the wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene here. My nerves stretched to breaking point already.
Oh, I see, you were scared. Maybe you don't have the wrong impression of you. Yes, it was all I could do to stifle a scream, hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot. You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera. Yeah, they don't always agree. The Menimemoism comes as a top. Huh. A sculptor of stories, I have to be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on. Surely he's making all this up. Yeah. But how are we supposed to... Okay, so let's think about this, okay? So this is apparently where we are supposed to present evidence. Wait a second, what's his name again? What's his name again? Wait a second. Can we enter the court record and just look for people? No, his name is Raiten something, so it's just the... So I think that we are supposed to show the fountain pen here. I'm just gonna do that.
Objection!
Okay, was right.
Menimemoism, until now I've had a firm belief that newspapers are in the business of uncovering and publishing the truth.
You're spot on there. The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the emblem of Show Your News on my arm.
Ah, okay, so there's the emblem too. We had a look at the pen, and the pen also has this emblem.
In a way, that's more Menimemoism.
Sadly, though, it seems that journalists who write for those papers don't always share the same passion for the truth.
What are you suggesting with those recriminatory words, Counsel?
Menimemoism, do you recognize this fountain pen?
Oh!
This pen was found at the scene of Miss Brett's death. In fact, the murdered victim was gripping it in her hand as she died.
What are you?
If you look at the barrel of the pen, you'll notice that its owner's initials are engraved there. RM.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Counsel. The initials of the accused. Remember me.
Is it a coincidence, I wonder? That your initials are also RM.
No!
Right then, Menimemo. RM.
That's horse dung! Can't you see? One of the central tenets of Menimemoism is being a pencil user.
And yet, as the court will clearly be able to see, on your right hand, there's a very obvious blue ink stain.
It would appear that you must have rather carelessly left it somewhere recently. Your favorite fountain pen, that is.
Horsey horse dung!
Menimemo-san, is it not the case that before she died, you met with Giselle Brett in that beach hut?
Objection!
Why should we listen to this absurd nonsense? It's nothing but another excuse.
Exactly! Show Your News will stand behind me all the way. I deny everything. There must be as many people with the initials RM as there are stars in the night sky.
The defense has neither the time nor the inclination to count every star in the sky. And there's no need anyway, because this pen has more to tell. Yes, there is another clue. A clue that undeniably proves who its owner really is.
It does?
In that case, counsel, the defense will now show the court where this alleged clue lies.
Of course, Your Excellency. The clue in this fountain pen that clearly reveals its owner's identity is...
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, here we go.
There's some sort of emblem here, look. But it isn't Yume University one.
It must belong to some other organization, I suppose, a business of some kind. But that would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray.
So it must be this.
As well as the initials, there's also an emblem on this fountain pen. An emblem that you will of course recognize, Menimemo-san.
Goodness me! It's the emblem of the Show Your News.
In other words, the owner of this pen is an employee of the Show You News, whose initials are RM. Suddenly the stars in the night sky don't seem so numerous, do they? Well, Menimemo-san, how do you respond?
No!
Order, order. Explain yourself, witness. So, this is how the mighty Supreme Court works, is it? Using coercive tactics to have well-meaning citizens reveal harmless secrets.
I've used nothing but honest tactics.
Alright then, fine. I won't try to hide it anymore. Yes, not long before that grim tragedy unfolded, I, a Show Your News reporter on behalf of the public, conducted an interview with the English woman.
An interview?
You never mentioned this before.
When exactly was this?
As I said, it was before that evil little student girl showed her face in the hut. I couldn't have lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes. That's all. It was just a brief exchange.
But it came to nothing, and as many memoists say, the people don't pay their dues for unworthy news.
However insignificant you deem it to be, this court cannot overlook the meeting between yourself and the victim. You will testify now under oath about the precise nature of this meeting and what transpired.
Got it, yes, alright, but on one condition.
Condition?
In all good conscience, I couldn't speak out alone about this. You need to call back the earlier witness, Soseki Natsume-san.
Soseki-san?
Oh yes, according to my notes here, that man has a secret of his own. And brace yourselves, because it's not a harmless one. It's big.
What?
Menimemoism states that one man's secret is every other man's front-page story.
Very well. I will grant the witness's request in this instance. Officer, summon the earlier witness back to the stand.
Soseki-san, hiding something?
Well, the witness's secrets. But I'm sorry, guys, I have to leave you with a cliffhanger here because we are very, very closely approaching the half-hour mark, which means ending the episode here is just a good decision. But I promise I will upload the next episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Resolve very, very soon, so you won't miss out on anything. See you then.